what Giants players are primed for a breakout season in 2023. Before we do get into that, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But in this video, I wanted to go over what Giants players on the team could really have a breakout season in 2023. Let's start off with the offense. I know Daniel Jones is one for sure, and Daniel Jones will actually get his own video very, very soon about him in 2023 and how I really do think this is the year where we finally get to see that breakout season from him. But definitely the weapons that the Giants acquired over the offseason, him being in the second year of the scheme with Brian Dable and Mike Kafka, that's really going to help him, and just him getting better and better every year. You know what I'm saying? Him, his pocket presence really took a step up last year. I feel like that's going to get even better this year. Being off schedule, but still being able to make plays out of the pocket, something that he really does underratedly, actually, in my opinion. So this year, it's going to be a lot even more of that, in my opinion. And Daniel Jones is going to get his own video about that, so stay tuned for that. But another guy on the offense is the 7th overall selection from the 2022 NFL Draft, and that is Evan Neal. Probably the X factor of the New York Giants offense this year. You look at, his rookie season, it was not good. It wasn't good. It was not good. We're going to be 100% straight. He probably had the worst tackles rookie season out of the 3 tackles we could have taken in the draft that year, 2022. Ike Mekwonu, Charles Cross. Those guys wanted to have great rookie seasons. Evan Neal, not so much. But I'm looking at him, and I just see that the size and the upside that he possessed, he has something where he could be, a pretty good damn tackle. And if he does have a great season, that is going to help the Giants in so many avenues. You can throw the ball 35, 40 times a game when you have 2 tackles that can control the edge, of the edge on the defensive line, and Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. I love Evan Neal. I love them coming out of the draft, and I really do think this is the year where he can really get things, starting to pick up in his second season. Kind of like Andrew Thomas. I don't see him having an Andrew Thomas year where he's probably an all-pro or could have been a Pro Bowler, but I see him having a bounce-back season off that rookie year. He's changing up his stance. That's going to definitely help him. It's going to help him get out of his stance quicker, get off the ball quicker, going up against those speed rushers on the edge. So Evan Neal is probably the X factor of the Giants offense. Not just a breakout candidate, but probably the X factor. If he can be, a great tackle this year, the Giants offense is going to be very, very, very good, because you get some more pass protection for Daniel Jones, and Evan Neal's already a pretty decent run blocker, so I'm not really worried about that. If he can take even another step in that would be great. But another guy on the offense, let's say Isaiah Hodgins. Isaiah Hodgins last year, got a late start on the team, played majority, or not really played, but it was on the practice squad of the Buffalo Bills team for majority of the first half of the season. Gets picked up by the Giants, comes in here, and is a guy that's getting good playing time over other guys that was on the roster. Now, yes, the wide receiver room last year was very, very lacking of talent, and it's still not the best this year, but Isaiah Hodgins is a guy where the hands are consistent. He's a guy that I think Daniel Jones really does like throwing balls to. And back in the Minnesota Vikings game, in that playoff game, it was one play where Daniel Jones threw a laser to Isaiah Hodgins on the sideline, and he brought it down. So he's going to be a guy that's going to be a reliable wide receiver for the Giants. I think he's going to be a starting wide receiver for the Giants, even after the acquisition they made over the offseason. You look at him, how he can score touchdowns, and he's just a guy that's consistently going to be a red zone threat for the Giants. That's going to be even better when he can play on a full, game sample size, unlike last year where majority of his production came on the latter end of the season. So Isaiah Hodgins is another guy, wide receiver for the Giants, that I really do think could be primed for a breakout year. Might not be a 1,000-yard season. I don't think Isaiah Hodgins I don't think he has that in him, but a guy that can get 700 yards, maybe 8-9 touchdowns, that's huge, because you're getting that from a guy that was on the practice squad last year for the Buffalo Bills. But let's transition over to the defense. And the guy that I think is primed for the biggest breakout season is the 5th overall draft pick from the 2022 NFL Draft, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Listen here. I'm going to take a trip down memory lane. We're going back to Oregon. We're going back to that game, Oregon versus UCLA. Kayvon Thibodeaux disrupted that whole game. That whole offense was predicated on making sure Kayvon Thibodeaux did not get to the quarterback, and he still did it. So when people say, oh, Kayvon Thibodeaux isn't going to be good, he's going to be a bust, he didn't have the production last year, even though he still had a good rookie season. If you watch the games, I see so much in Kayvon. Like, I know what Kayvon can really be. I saw it in college, and I saw it in games last year. I know a lot of people bring up the Washington Commanders game, the second game that we played them after the tie in Washington. Basically, was the game of the year for the Giants. If they would have lost that game, they wouldn't have made it to the playoffs, most likely, because, remember the numbers. He had a great performance. He basically kind of won the Giants that game. Got the sack fumble, got the, the touchdown, got the scoop and score, got the tackles for loss. He was all over the field that game. Hell of a game from him. But I'm looking at that Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. Now, I know a lot of people, this game kind of gets lost in the games of Kayvon because he had some great performances. He had the game-winning play versus Baltimore. But that game was a game where Kayvon didn't get a sack, but he was consistently getting in the backfield and creating pressure on Dak Prescott. There were also some holds in that game. He was getting held all goddamn season where the refs didn't call it. But that game specifically was a game where Kayvon was consistently getting pressure on the Dallas offense. Coming out of that game where the Giants lost, it was a convincing loss for, a convincing win for Dallas. He was the bright spot. He was the guy I was like, Kayvon is tearing it up out there. He didn't get a sack, but he still had an impact on the game. Did the Giants win it? No, but that game right there is where I was like, Kayvon is being a disruptor. And as a rookie, you're still learning things. You're still trying to refine your pass rush, I guess you could say, repertoire. This is going to be his second year. He's going to have Azeez Ojulari, playing outside of him. Going to have Dexter Lawrence in the middle. So everyone's going to be trying to make sure that Dexter Lawrence doesn't, disrupt him inside of the pocket. That is going to lead Kayvon Thibodeaux to be able to make plays. And I see what he can be. We saw it last year. He had multiple games where he was making plays. And I'm looking at it this year. I think Kayvon is going to really turn heads. I know the production wasn't there last year. 4 sacks, not, as much as Aiden Hudson got. I think this year you're going to really see the production start to come off the charts. I think you're going to see him being more of a disruptor. I think you're going to start seeing people, be like, hey, Kayvon is a problem. I really do think that. So if I had to give out my opinion or my take on who I think is going to be the breakout star for the New York Giants season, it is Kayvon Thibodeaux. Now, there's other guys on the roster that are, primed to probably have a breakout season. Maybe some of you think Wan'Dale Robinson, rookie from last year, is going to be able to, come off that injury and fill in nicely as that, probably starting with slot wide receiver for the Giants. Azeez Ojulari is a dominant player. He's a dominant player when he's on the field. I think he had 5.5 sacks in 7 games. Insane. If he can stay on the field, Azeez Ojulari is going to probably be, the guy that gets the majority of the sacks for the Giants. Probably even over Kayvon. If Kayvon has a breakout season, but Azeez Ojulari stays on the field, Azeez Ojulari is going to have more sacks than Kayvon. That is how dominant Azeez Ojulari is. He looked good as a rookie, and when he was on the field last year, he looked even better. So if he can stay on the field, that would be huge for the Giants defense. And, if they both stay on the field, the Giants could have one of the best pass rush in the league with Kayvon Thibodeaux and Azeez Ojulari leading the helm. But again, let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be the breakout candidate for the Giants in 2023? Who do you think is going to break out? Last year was Dexter Lawrence, Daniel Jones. Who do you think is going to be in 2023? Let me know down below in the comment section. But if you did enjoy, leave a like, comment, and definitely hit the subscribe button on the channel. But until then, it's Baby J Dimes, and we are out. Go Giants! Peace. Thanks for watching.